Imagine a highly venomous black widow spider taking a wrong step into the open jaws of a Venus flytrap. Would the spider's potent venom give it a chance to squeeze its way out, or would the plant simply swallow it whole? To answer that, we have to find out exactly how strong these plants really are. And to do that, we're going to run them through a tiered gauntlet of increasingly difficult insects. We're testing two distinct tiers of plants. On one side, we have our control variable, a cheap $10 bundle of standard Venus flytraps. On the other side, we have a premium $100 bundle. These expensive traps look incredibly natural, packed with moss, and have a unique, completely solid red coloring. But before we drop a deadly spider into these jaws, we need to establish a baseline of strength by seeing how both of these plants handle a few common household pests. We begin round 1 by dropping a single live fly into both enclosures and putting 30 minutes on the clock. The cheap trap struggled right out of the gate. It barely produced any nectar, so the fly simply lost interest and walked away. On the rare occasion the fly did step inside the jaws, the plant reacted entirely too slowly to catch it. Over in the expensive enclosure, the fly spent its first few minutes bouncing off the glass in a panic. Eventually, though, the premium plant's highly potent, strong-smelling nectar lured the fly right onto its lip. This animated cross-section shows what happens before the trap snaps. Inside the jaw are tiny, highly sensitive trigger hairs. An insect must touch more than one hair in sequence before the jaw snaps shut, preventing the plant from wasting energy on a falling leaf. The expensive plant executed this mechanism flawlessly, securing the fly perfectly in just 5 minutes. Meanwhile, the cheap trap finished the entire 30-minute timer completely empty-handed. These results highlight a direct link between a plant's health and its reaction speed. A more responsive sensory system allows the expensive trap to snap shut before a fast-moving fly can even register the danger. For round 2, we escalate the challenge by introducing flightless crickets. Without wings, these insects are entirely ground-based, forcing them to navigate through terrain on foot. The cheap trap once again underperformed, this time in a bizarre way. A cricket actually wandered into the open jaws and stood perfectly still, comfortably drinking nectar for 30 straight seconds without a single reaction from the plant. The plant was a full minute late to react. When it finally did close, it only managed to clamp down on half the cricket's body, leaving the insect stuck but still fighting to pry itself out. Meanwhile, the cricket in the expensive enclosure played a very cautious game. It carefully navigated through the stems, narrowly dodging the internal trigger hairs inside the jaws at every turn. But at exactly the 7-minute mark, the potent nectar became too much to resist. The cricket leaned in for a drink, hit the internal hairs, and the expensive trap snapped shut for a flawless, instant capture. While both plants produce nectar, the premium plant's more potent scent provides a more effective setup, drawing the insect into the center of the trap where superior sensor speed guarantees the kill. Now we reach the final, deadliest phase of the gauntlet, the black widow spider. Notice the glossy black body and the distinct red hourglass marking on its underbelly. To put its lethality into perspective, this spider packs venom 15 times more potent than the rattlesnake pictured here. When I first opened their container, one of them immediately webbed down the side of the table and sprinted across the floor, forcing me into a frantic, panicked chase just to safely scoop it up. Once safely inside the cheap enclosure, the spider's behavior shifted. It moved meticulously, placing its legs with extreme caution, and even began spinning a web directly above the plants. But then came the shock. Despite underperforming all day, the cheap trap caught a lucky break when the spider made a single misstep. The jaws snapped shut almost perfectly, leaving the black widow trapped with only a few legs twitching on the outside. With the cheap plant pulling off a surprising victory, we moved on to the final test in the expensive enclosure to see if the premium plant could match that performance. The premium plant delivered a capture with brutal efficiency. Within the first 30 seconds of the timer, the spider simply ducked a fraction too low, triggering an instant, inescapable clamp. So to answer our opening question, yes, a Venus flytrap can and absolutely will successfully capture and consume a deadly black widow spider. If you enjoyed this experiment, check out the Terra Green store. Even my dog Jet is repping the brand new merch, and picking up a shirt or sticker pack is a great way to support the channel. In the end, it doesn't matter how potent a bug's venom is. A perfectly calibrated Venus flytrap holds its ground as a lethal ambush predator in this microscopic ecosystem.